be single the
No,
rest of your life.
Society says it's okay, which
Yeah.
again, everybody has the right to make their own choices.
Exactly.
But if someone came to me for advice and said, "Hey, is it okay to be single forever?" I'm like, "Okay, what do you want out of life?" That's my first question. And then, well, I would love to be happy. I would love to feel complete and fulfilled. Well, then singleness is not going to give you that.
Do you think singleness is not
I
going
agree
to...
with that.
Okay.
Again.
Hold on. Josie, do you think singleness is not going to give you that fulfillment that Sophia is talking about?
I think you can be single and still feel very fulfilled. It's very interesting you say this because, as a matter of fact, the statistics say single women apparently are happier than married women. So that's interesting.
What statistics?
I don't think.
Wait.
Say, where-
No, there's
where
actually
did that
something
come
called
from?
the marriage benefit imbalance
No,
that
because
says this.
there is something-
Help me.
And this is coming from a
Help me
married
here.
woman. There's something
Help me
called the
here.
marriage benefit imbalance
No, there is
that
something
says that women do not benefit as much from marriage as men.
Hold on.
That's crazy.
She said something about statistics, right? What statistics is that?
It's just, basically the premise is that women take on more once they get married. You're taking care of someone's kids.
Okay.
You're taking care of that person too.
Yeah.
You don't have time for yourself. You're feeding the whole family, buying everybody gifts, finding out the doctor's appointments. What does everybody like? Taking them to all their extracurriculars. You end up doing so much more. There's not enough time for you. That's usually what ends up happening just because of gender roles. But that's not every relationship, but statistically that's what ends up happening. So that's,
I think because most of everything is out of order anyways in the
Yeah.
world right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And when the original setup is out of order, then everything is going to fall apart, right?
Yeah.
And again, to Josie's point, right? And I know she says, I think, which is fine. We all have the birthright
what?
to, you think that you can be very fulfilled when you're single.
Yeah.
Again, that's everyone's right to feel that. But if we go to the original foundation of what it's supposed to be, it's like if I create a telephone and I say, oh, this telephone can be water resistant or whatnot, or I say, oh, it can be done this way, and someone decides to do something else with it, it can still work, but doesn't mean that that is the original way it was supposed to function. So again, I'm not going to say that if someone chooses to be single, they have to be forced to not be single, get married or anything. Absolutely not. Everyone's life is their life to live to however they see fit. But if you come to me as an advisor and as a counselor and you ask me this question, I'm going to the original source. I'm going to what it was built to become. And men and women are like literally counterparts. We are two sides of one. And if you do not have the counterpart, something is going to lack because it was never meant for you to do life alone. It was never built to function that way.
Man, I
I'm
want
a
to...
little confused by that. And this is genuine,
Mm-hmm.
totally. But to answer your question, The Guardian was one, University of Toronto. So there's a few different institutions that's compiled this research. To answer your question, so Sophia, I know in the Bible, right? Obviously, we know the story of Adam and Eve. God, like you said, determined that it was better for Adam to have a companion. Thus, he created Eve from his rib. However, in the same Bible, and I remember you mentioned this before, to where it also says that it is better to be alone, right?
Why is it better?
It's better to be alone. Help me, Emma.
Than to be with the wrong person.
That's not what it says.
I don't know the verse, but
I know the scripture that says better to
It's
be
better to be
alone than
alone,
to be
but-
led astray from
But
God.
if it's hard for you, then go ahead and marry or something like that.
I think that was in reference
Paul,
to-
I think it was the Apostle Paul that was
Yeah,
speaking to
I
the
understand.
congregation
You're right,
and telling
yeah.
them that.
Yeah.
But again, the Apostle Paul is not God, right? He was given a suggestion.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're finding it difficult
Exactly.
to control your sexuality and be celibate, then go ahead and get married. That's an advice, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the originator of life, of humans, has given a stipulation on what it's supposed to be like.
Okay, so it was the apostle.
Yeah, it was the
Paul that
Apostle
said
Paul
that.
that was given advice.
So
That's
outside of
it.
religion, historically, was it the premise of marriage like ownership in terms of owning a woman? But if like outside of religion, because not everyone's religious, right?
Okay.
Not everyone's Christian. Not everyone's reading the Bible. So what was the original premise of marriage?
I don't remember it being ownership because marriages used to thrive back in the days before, I mean, it became what it is now. Like people,
Did
yeah, people, I mean, okay.
Maybe they weren't
Was
happy.
that when divorce was
again,
illegal?
I never knew divorce to be illegal, but I know that
Yeah,
I know
in the
that a lot
70s,
of
what
in the
was it,
60s and
it
70s,
was illegal.
a lot of men actually left the home because the government stepped in or something, and then the men left the home, and then the women. I think that's where the disconnect began, like really intensely. But I don't remember when people married for ownership, but people turned it into that. So like, again, biologically, as she said, right? Forget religion. Let's go to biology. You actually are better regulated when you're in a healthy, let me put that out there, healthy relationship. The unhealthy will actually have you dysregulated, to be honest. It gives your nervous system a breakdown.
But I have to tell you, the way you sound, I feel like you think that singleness and happiness, they are opposite.
No.
Singleness.
I think she's saying
happiness.
fulfillment.
Fulfillment
Not
is
happiness.
it's not necessarily happy. I can be very happy single.
Now I can say
I'm single and I'm
I can.
Fulfilled.
Hold
If
on.
you have passion,
Hold
you
on.
have purpose, you can.
you're gonna lack, Josie, and that's
So
why
this-
people
this is
hook
what
up.
I'm saying.
It's always gonna
You're
be
gonna
something
lack.
missing.
This is what I feel like. If somebody say I want to be single, it's okay to. If you want to be single, that's okay. But I always ask you, why do you want to be single? What is the purpose you want to be single?
I think that's a
Well,
good question.
if-
Like know your
Yeah.
why for anything
is
in
a
life.
good
Know
question.
your
That
why.
decision.
So that's where I know, because I know some spiritual women that decided to be single because they want to do the work of God undistracted. Right? So if you tell me you want to be single, that's cool. That's your decision. But why do you want to be single?
The why is important.
Do you want to be single because you're selfish? Do you want to be single because
Why did you look over?
yeah, because some people are selfish. Some
Oh my days, Judy.
He looked at me
I know
when
he's
he
like,
said
you're
that.
selfish?
hold on. Some people want to be single because they are selfish.
Oh, they've been
Men
hurt.
And women, they want their space. They don't want any kind of. I don't want to take care of any baby. I don't want to take care of any husband. I don't want to take care of any wife. Women are this.
Women
men
are that,
this.
yeah.
You know.
But I think that's-
Hold on. I'm coming. So when you tell me that, I'll find out that you are selfish, right? But when you, this is
But
me.
that's
This is
beautiful
this.
because
this
they're
is my-
self-aware.
Hold on. This is my opinion.
Better they remain selfish
This is my
single
opinion.
than to
Hold
get in
on.
a relationship and still be a selfish
Okay,
person.
hold on. But when you tell me that you want to be single because you have this big thing that you want to do for the world, because we are here to contribute to the world, right?
Yeah.
Now there is something you want to do, and probably it will require you to, traveling from place to place. You will be home, doing the work of God. I don't mean religion. It can be in any form, and so you don't want that kind of responsibility because you want to do this to help the world. Now, personally, I will understand, and personally, I will approve of that. I understand when you say, "Men are not meant to be alone." That's true. That's absolutely true because biologically, we are not meant to be alone. That's cool. But some women that I know who really have big dreams and they decide to be single, I don't think there is anything wrong with that.
But those women are still not happy because I've spoken to those women in their 50s and their 60s, and now they want a relationship.
And
Sophia, that's
I will tell you,
subjective. And I've seen women in their 50s and their 60s, they're widowed or
Widowed.
happy.
Widowed.
And they
no.
don't have no,
Wait,
desire
wait.
to partner.
You said widowed. They've experienced that then.
Well,
When
that's
you-
an example.
But that's
you
what.
also have, like, I have a cousin, right? She doesn't have any children, never been married because she had an ex-fiance in her 30s who cheated on her. And she was so traumatized that she left the relationship and she said, never again.
yeah, that's
So she
Wait,
has- she's-
wait. Joe's finished. I'll tell you what I
so
have to say.
she's lived her life, her entire life, as a single woman, and she is happy
So let me
on her own.
let me help you understand why that is. The trauma has been the mental condition of whatever she has decided to do further. So she would, and listen, the happiness will be
But
enforced.
that's a given.
But this,
You're always gonna
but this is what I'm
experience
trying to tell
trauma when
you.
you're dealing with
But
other
then
human
you're
beings.
supposed to heal. And after the
missing piece
healing
right there.
is when you get back to the beginning stage of life again.
Sound
If
like
you
she
don't
never
heal,
healed.
So when you heal,
Uh-huh.
does that mean now I've healed, therefore no one else is going to hurt me?